Hi everyone, you are watching Commerce King Academy right now. Today in this video we are going to solve illustration number 4 related to trial balance, right? You already know that this is the part of parent chapter, which is chapter number 5 with the name ledger account. Okay, the trial balance is the current topic of this chapter. So let's get started with illustration number 4. You must keep in your mind here the method of solution of illustration number 4. Okay, first of all we will discuss or just read the illustrations transactions and as well as its journal entries, and after that snapshot of ledger accounts. When we will attain complete understanding about ledger, journal and transactions of this illustration, after that we will make trial balance. This is the requirement, which is journalize the following transactions, post them into the ledger and prepare a trial balance. That's it. Understand? This is the requirement of this illustration. Year given, which is 2005. First transactions date, which is Jan 1st, which is started business with cash, amounted 200,000 rupees. Okay, this is the format of journal account. You already know that with the help of previous videos. Am I right? This is the date column, details or description, ledger folio number, page number, where the transactions are exist. This is the column of amount debit, this column amount credit. Okay, so this is the solution of illustration's first transaction, which is Jan 1st, cash account debit to capital account credit, because owner invested cash into the business, right? This is the ledger folio numbers of these accounts. Cash account ledger folio number is 5 and capital account ledger folio number is 7 with same amounts. Clear? After understanding of illustration's first transaction, now we will move toward second transaction, which held on Jan 2nd 2005, which is opened bank account with 100,000 rupees. So Jan 2nd bank account debit to cash account credit with ledger folio number 9, which is bank's ledger folio number, and cash ledger folio number is 5 with same amounts 100,000 rupees with details cash deposited into the bank. Next transaction is Jan 3rd, which is purchased furniture for cash amounted 10,000 rupees. This is the journal entry of this transaction. Jan 3rd furniture account debit with ledger folio number 11 to cash account credit with ledger folio number 5, same amounts with details bought furniture for cash. That's it. Next transaction is Jan 4th, purchased goods for cash amounted 30,000 rupees. This is the journal entry of this transaction, which is Jan 4th, purchases account debit with ledger folio number is 13 and to cash account credit with same amounts with details bought goods for cash. Okay. The next transaction of this illustration is Jan 5th, purchase goods from Karachi stores worth 40,000 rupees on credit or on account basis. Are you understand the comprehension of this transaction? Understand here, purchase goods from Karachi store. Karachi store is the supplier of the business and the business is purchaser here. Okay, the transaction done on credit basis. Understand? So the journal entry is this: Jan 5th, purchases account will debit with ledger folio number 30 and to Karachi stores, same amounts debit and credit with details bought goods on credit or on account basis from Karachi stores by the business. Okay. Next date transaction, which is Jan 7th, sold goods for cash rupees 26,000. Okay, this is the journal entry of this transaction, which is Jan 7th, cash account debit with ledger folio number 5 to sales account credit with ledger folio number 70, same amounts debit and credit with details goods sold for cash. Cash will be debit here because sales has been done on cash basis. Okay. Next transaction, which is Jan 8th, sold goods to Rafiq and Sons for 22,000 rupees. Understand here the comprehension of this transaction. Sold goods to Rafiq and Sons. Okay, so Rafiq and Sons is the customer of the business here. Okay, the journal entry will be Jan 8th, Rafiq and Sons account debit with ledger folio number 19 to sales account credit because sales has been done on credit basis. So the name of the customer will be debit here, okay, with same debit and same credit, okay. With details goods sold on credit or on account basis to Rafiq and Sons, okay. Next transaction, which is Jan 9th, payment made to Karachi stores amounted 30,000 rupees by check. For understanding this transaction, we must first recall the account of Karachi store in last date. Here, in last date, which is Jan 5th, we have purchased goods from Karachi stores amounted 40,000 rupees, okay. So in this date, we have to pay to Karachi store amount 30,000 by check, okay. Are you understand the comprehension of this transaction? So now we will move toward journal entry of this transaction. This is the journal entry of this transaction. Jan 9th, Karachi store account will debit with ledger folio number 15 to bank account credit because payment has been made by business by bank account. Bank account's ledger folio number is 9, okay, with amount 30,000 rupees and same credit 30,000 rupees. With details or description of this transactions entry, payment made by check, okay. Next transaction is Jan 11th, check received from Rafiq and Sons for 16,000 rupees and paid into the bank. That means deposited into the bank by the business, okay. For understanding this transaction's comprehension, we first recall the account of Rafiq and Sons. So right now, this is the previous account of Rafiq and Sons. We have sold goods to Rafiq in earliest date for 22,000 rupees. Clear? So now we have received a check from Rafiq and Sons because Rafiq and Sons is our customer here, okay. So this is the journal entry of this transaction, Jan 11th, bank account debit with 16,000 rupees, ledger folio number 9 of this account to Rafiq and Sons account credit with amount 16,000 rupees with ledger folio number is 19. Detail check received and paid into the bank. Are you okay? Next transaction is Jan 14th. Goods returned to Karachi store worth 3,000 rupees. You already know that we have already purchased from Karachi stores. So this part of goods we return to Karachi store. This is the journal entry of this transaction, which is Jan 14th date. Karachi store account debit to purchases and returns account credit with ledger folio number 21 with same amounts debit and credit. So goods returned to Karachi stores. Next transaction is Jan 16, goods returned by Rafiq and Sons for 2,000 rupees. Understand here, we have to sold goods to Rafiq and Sons amounted 22,000 rupees in earliest date, okay. So goods returned by Rafiq and Sons, it may have risen inferior quality or excess in quantity. That's why goods returned by Rafiq and Sons. The journal entry of this transaction is Jan 16, sales returns account debit with ledger folio numbers 23 to Rafiq and Sons account credit, okay. This is the journal entry of sales return, okay. Debit amount 2,000 with same credit 2,000 with details goods returned by customer, which was Rafiq and Sons. Next transaction, Jan 17, cash paid to Karachi store rupees 6,800 rupees in full settlement of their account. This is the journal entry of this transaction, which is Jan 17, Karachi store account debit with ledger folio number 15 and to cash account credit with 5 to discount account ledger folio number is 25. This is the journal entry of this transaction. After completion the journal entry of this transaction, now we will move toward the account of Karachi store, okay. Understand here the account of Karachi store. The total balance of Karachi store 40,000 rupees because we have purchased goods amounted 40,000 rupees in earliest date from Karachi store, supplier of the business, okay. 30,000 received by check Karachi store from business, okay. The remaining balance is 10,000 toward the business, okay, of a Karachi store. From 10,000, 3,000 rupees goods returned by the business to Karachi store, okay. The remaining amount is 7,000 rupees ultimately, okay. So 200 discount given by the Karachi store to business, okay. So this will be the discount received by the business from Karachi store. So this is the income for the business, okay. So the entry will be Karachi store's account total value is remaining balance is 7,000 and cash paid by the business to Karachi store 6,800 rupees and received 200 rupees as a discount received. So the details will be cash paid and discount received, okay. Next transaction, Jan 20, cash received from Rafiq and Sons 3,900 rupees in full settlement of their account. This is the journal entry of this transaction, Jan 20. Cash account debit, ledger folio number 5, discount allowed account debit, also debit with ledger folio number 25. To Rafiq and Sons account credit, ledger folio number 90. After reading journal entry, now you must understand here the amounts or account of Rafiq and Sons. Recall, we have to solve Rafiq and Sons amounted 22,000 rupees, okay. After that, on date 11th, we have received check amounted 16,000 rupees from Rafiq and Sons, okay. So we will deduct 16,000 rupees from 22,000 rupees. Ultimately, remaining balance is 6,000 rupees, okay. On date 16th Jan, we have sales returned by the Rafiq and Sons amounted 2,000 rupees, okay. So the remaining balance is 4,000 rupees, okay. So the closing of Rafiq and Sons account here, the total account was 4,000 rupees toward Rafiq and Sons. This is the total balance, okay. Received 3,900 rupees in cash by Rafiq and Sons and 100 rupees given to Rafiq and Sons as a discount allowed by the business. Understand? Simple is that. Cash received 3,900 rupees, given discount allowed to Rafiq and Sons 100 and total account was 4,000. This was remaining balance toward Rafiq and Sons because we have to sales to Rafiq and Sons on Jan 8th with total amount 22,000 rupees. Okay. Next transaction is goods lost by fire, amounted 4,000 rupees. Okay. You must keep in your mind that goods lost by fire or given the samples to its or their customer, so ultimately reduce, or in case of theft, so ultimately will reduce the purchases stocks. So purchases account will be credit against goods lost. So this is the journal entry of this transaction, Jan 22, lost goods by fire, account debit with ledger folio number 27 to purchases account credit with ledger folio number 13. 4,000 rupees debit and same amount 4,000 credit. Detail goods lost by fire. Okay. This transaction is Jan 24, goods taken away by proprietor for his personal use, amounted 3,000 rupees. That means this value will include in drawings account. Are you understand or know the concept of drawings account? Drawings account is refers to the account when the owner or proprietor extract anything from business for personal use. So the goods will be entered in the drawings account and ultimately reduce purchases stock of the business. Okay. So the journal entry of this transaction is Jan 24, drawings account debit to purchases account credit. Drawings account's ledger folio number is 29, to purchases account ledger folio number is 13. Same amounts debit and credit. Detail goods taken away by proprietor. This transaction's entry, journal entry has been completed here. Now we will move toward next transaction. Jan 26, purchased a typewriter for rupees 10,000 and paid by check. This is the journal entry of this transaction, Jan 26, typewriter account debit with ledger folio number 31 to bank account credit because payment paid by the business by check 10,000 rupees debit, 10,000 rupees credit. Details: bought typewriter and paid the amount of typewriter by check. Okay. Next transaction is Jan 28, goods distributed as free samples worth 4,000 rupees. So this is the journal entry of this transaction, Jan 28. The purpose of given free samples is ultimately advertisement of the business or advertisement of business products or goods. Okay, so we will give here the name to free samples is advertisement account. Okay, so advertisement account debit, ledger folio number 33 to purchases account credit because reduced purchases stock against free samples or advertisement. Okay, ledger folio number is 13. These are the amounts debit and credit. Details: goods distributed as free samples. This is the last transaction. This illustration is Jan 31st. Paid salaries amounted 6,000 rupees and paid rent rupees 4,000 by checks. Okay. This is the journal entry, Jan 31st. Salaries account debit, ledger folio number 35. Rent account also debit, ledger folio number 37. To bank account credit. Okay, with ledger folio number 9. Salaries amount is 6,000. Rent account amount is 4,000. Total is 10,000. So 10,000 paid by check or ultimately reduced from bank account. So the bank account will be credit here. This is the details: expenses paid by checks. Okay, all the transactions journal entries has been completed here. The totals of debit and credit of journal account is equal here. Okay, journal entries of the transactions are correct. This is proof of debit credit rule. Okay, after reading illustration number 4, transactions, and then reading its journal entries, the next step is ledger account. Okay, this is the ledger accounts of different accounts. You can see here the account number or ledger folio number is 5. Okay, the balance of ledger account is debit balance is this, same as this is the next ledger account of capital account with ledger folio number or account number is 7. Have credit balance this, and so on. Okay, dear students, we are taking these balances from ledger accounts and will enter into the trial balance account. So let's get started. Entrance of ledger accounts balances in trial balance. You can see here, this is the format or structure of trial balance. Trial balance: name, date as at 31st/1/2005. Okay, this is the serial number column. This is the account names column, and account number or ledger folio number of ledger accounts, debit column amounts, and credit column amounts columns. Okay, this is our first ledger account. Ledger cash account, ledger folio number 5. Okay, these are its workings. Okay, date column, references. Journal reference means page number where the journal's account addressed. Okay, same as amounts, same as this side. This side is debit side, this side is credit side. This is the balance of both sides, which is 8,000 and 3,100. This is the debit balance of cash account because the debit side is heavier than credit side. Okay, so we will enter this balance into the trial balance in this way. You can see account number first, name cash account, have account number or ledger folio number 5, debit amount 8,000 and 3,100 rupees. First ledger accounts entry has been completed here. Now we will move toward next. Our next ledger account is ledger capital account with reference or ledger folio number 7, debit side and credit side. Ledger of capital account have credit balance 200,000 rupees. Okay, because it have credit side heavier than debit side, so ultimately we have credit balance. Serial number 2, account name which is capital account. Number 7, credit balance 200,000 rupees. Okay, same as earlier. Our next ledger account which is ledger bank account, number 9, ledger folio number 9, debit side, credit side. So debit side is heavier than credit side, so ultimately we have this balance carry forward 66,000 rupees. This is the debit balance of bank account because we have debit side heavier than credit side. Okay, serial number 3, account name bank account. Account number 9, debit balance amounted 66,000 rupees, right? Next ledger account, furniture account with number 11. This is debit side and credit side. This is the difference of both sides, 10,000 rupees. So ultimately we have debit balance because debit side is heavier than credit side. Serial number 4, account number furniture account. Debit balance 10,000 rupees. Next ledger account, purchase account, number 13, debit side, credit side. You can see the difference on credit side, 59,000 rupees. So we have debit side heavier, ultimately have debit balance. Serial number 5, purchases account, name. Account number 13, debit balance 59,000 rupees. This is our next ledger Karachi store account with ledger folio number 15. This is the account number. Debit side, credit side. This is the different ledger account because this have debit and credit side in equals. There is no difference between both sides. So ultimately we have no balance. And we will not enter this ledger accounts balance in trial balance. Okay, so therefore we will move toward next ledger account. Our next ledger account is sales account with account number 17, debit side, credit side. We have difference of 48,000 rupees on debit side, so ultimately we have heavier credit side, so we have credit balance 48,000 rupees. Serial number 6, account name sales account. Account number is 17, am I right? Credit balance 48,000 rupees. This is our next ledger Rafiq and Sons account, number 19, debit side, credit side. Same as earliest account, we have no balance of this account. Okay, so ultimately we will not enter in trial balance of this account's balance. So our next ledger purchases returns account, ledger folio number 21, debit side, credit side. The difference of 3,000 rupees on debit side, ultimately credit side heavier, so we have credit balance 3,000 rupees. Serial number 7, purchases returns account, ledger folio number or account number 21, have credit balance 3,000 rupees. Next ledger account sales returns, number 23, debit side, credit side. We have difference of 2,000 rupees on credit side, so ultimately we have debit side higher than credit side, so ultimately we have debit balance 2,000 rupees. Serial number 8, account name sales returns account, account number 23, debit balance of 2,000 rupees. Next account is ledger discount account with account number or ledger folio number 25, debit side, credit side. we have difference of 100 rupees on debit side. So ultimately credit side is heavier. So in this way we have credit balance 100 rupees. Serial number 9, account name discount account. Ledger folio number or account number 25. Credit balance 100 rupees. Next ledger account, loss by file 27, debit credit. Difference of 4,000 rupees on credit side. So ultimately debit side is heavier here. So we have debit balance 4,000 rupees. Serial number 10, loss by fire account 27, have debit balance 4,000 rupees. Next account is drawings account 29, debit and credit. Difference of 3,000 rupees on credit side. So ultimately debit side is heavier here. So we have debit balance 3,000 rupees. Serial number 11, account name drawings account with number 29, have debit balance 3,000 rupees. Next account is typewriter account with number 31, debit side and credit side of ledger account. We have difference of 10,000 rupees on credit side. So ultimately debit side is heavier. So we have debit balance of 10,000 rupees. Serial number 12, account name typewriter account 31, debit balance 10,000 rupees. Next account is ledger account, name advertisement account, ledger folio number 33, debit side and credit side. We have difference on credit side amounted 4,000 rupees. Okay, so ultimately we have debit side is heavier here. So ultimately we have debit balance of 4,000 rupees. Serial number 13, account number advertisement account number 33, have debit balance 4,000 rupees. Are you okay? Our next ledger account, salaries account, ledger folio number is 35, debit side and credit side. We have difference of 6,000 rupees on credit side. So ultimately debit side is heavier. So we have debit balance 6,000 rupees. Serial number 14, account name salaries account, debit balance 6,000 rupees. Our next and last ledger account, which is ledger of rent account with reference or ledger folio number or account number 37. We have difference of 4,000 rupees on credit side. So debit side is heavier. So we have debit balance 4,000 rupees. Serial number 15, account name rent account 37, 4,000 rupees debit balance. For proof, our debit total will be equal to credit total. If both sides are equal, then all the entries of the transactions will correct. If we have no balance of both sides of trial balance, somewhere mistakes are exist in our working. So let's do the equals of both sides by calculations of both columns. So you can see here the both sides debit and credit sides of trial balance are equal in amounts. Okay, so this is proof that all the transactions entries or working of our transactions corrected, because trial balance of our transactions is the error detecting tools. So our both sides should be equal all times. Okay. Thanks for watching this video. If you like, then share, subscribe and comment. Thank you all.